Hi, my name's Trish. I'm looking forward to doing these next couple of readings because I've got a couple of new decks that I'm just working with at the moment. So this one here is my Neptune Moon deck, so I'm going to see what the cards want to talk about in this deck. This came up in the pick a card reading today, talking about empathic abilities, talking about how you're affected by other people's energies, how energies around you such as Schumann resonance and solar flares energy, or energy that's going on in the atmosphere, can affect you. Now this is called the radiant energy alignment, and it's related to chakras and auras, so your energetic body. And then the next one is called atmospheric influence, and it is related to how you are affected or what affects you. So this did come up in this week's pick a card reading, but the cards want to go a little bit more into it for everybody. This is one of my light readings, and let's see what the cards have to say about our energetic body and how we are affected by external influences. Welcome back. Now I apologize that you didn't get to see me shuffle these cards. Been having a few glitches here today. Today's the 26th of August, and there's been a few glitches of just videos just stopping midway through. Doesn't normally do that to me, but it will just kind of shut down, like the videos will stop recording, so I'm not quite sure what's happening. But you didn't get to see me shuffle. Luckily the first part of the video, when they pulled the cards on what they wanted to read on, that's come out just fine, so I'll continue on now. But I do apologize that you didn't get to see me shuffle and lay these cards out, but I'm going to, and I'm watching to make sure we've still got the red light that we're recording. Okay, so what they're showing me, because I've already read this already and I lost it in that reading, is that there's changes coming up. We've got changing times coming up. This is happening around the eclipse. There is a partial lunar eclipse taking place in the sign of Pisces on the 18th of September. Now, where I'm getting this information from is that we've got a lunar card on the table, so they're telling me that changes coming up around the eclipse. So the first two cards that came out were about our energy bodies and how we're affected by external influences and things that are happening out externally. And I would normally say things like Schumann resonance, solar flares are another things, but eclipse energy is the other thing. And I'm being highlighted that it's an eclipse energy because of the lunar card on the table, which is talking about the partial lunar eclipse that's taking place in September, on September 18th, in the sign of Pisces. Now, what is also going on in the sign of Pisces, we've got Saturn sitting there in the sign of Pisces. Saturn is all about challenges. It brings forward challenges. It's challenging situations that we have to deal with. So there's showing me over this time that there's changes coming up. It could be even in the world, around the challenges that we're facing. So we may even see things that are beyond our comprehension. Given that we've got this card, we will be maybe shocked by some things, or maybe that we cannot believe what we're seeing or what we're hearing around this. Now, these are new cards, so I'm still learning these ones, and I'm learning how to connect in with these cards. That's why I'm doing these readings. They're just a fun kind of light reading where I can just get more information about what's going on energetically, kind of, and different principles we can talk about. So what they're saying here is that we are definitely talking about the lunar eclipse, the partial lunar eclipse on the 18th of September. This energy is coming in maybe 5 days before, 5 days after. It's that kind of energy, and what we're going to be seeing is some changes. Now this card says changing times. It says around generations or civilizations. Okay, that's really interesting, because then diagonally we've got the DNA. So changes to the civilization, changes to the generations around DNA. That's really interesting. So changing DNA. Now sitting right next to it is the draconian deception, all about manipulation. So manipulating DNA, manipulating our energy or our energetic body, because we're talking here about the first two cards that came out was the card of auras and chakras, and then how we're affected by external influences. So here it's trying to find ways to manipulate us using frequencies, or using the solar flares, or whether, you know, how we're manipulated by those things. Our DNA may be manipulated, or maybe somebody's trying to manipulate our DNA, because we've got this civilization generation card here as well. Now, what the card, just reading them, lightly skimming across them, it's saying we've got some changes coming up in the month of September. It could be more challenges. We could be facing more challenges. They could be internal challenges, or they could be challenges going on around the world. What's going on now? They could be, means they could get better, but I feel like because we've got beyond comprehension, they could get more advanced. So because it says advanced knowledge, so it could get beyond comprehension. Makes me feel like we're not going to believe or see what we're being shown or what's happening. It's like out of our belief, or out of beyond our comprehension, like why is this happening, or what's really happening. So that's kind of the energy that I'm bringing in here. Genetic Alchemist. Now, I've already read these cards, but I lost the video, so that's why I'm got to make sure that I've covered everything here. Genetic Alchemist, it's called. It's the healer. So it's all about healing our energy. And when I tapped into this energy on the first read, I felt like we needed to be grounded here. Earth energy. Now, it could also be changes going on with the earth too, because they pulled me back to earth energy. So it could be changes that we'll be seeing around the earth energy, like Schumann resonance, or, you know, things happening with the solar flares, or the sun could even be happening. But it is around the time of the partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. So now, because they're bringing me back to earth, we could be seeing earth changes, being, you know, volcanoes, earthquakes, that kind of thing. I did get that in the prediction readings for September. But this is what they're showing me, that there's changes coming up. Could be challenging, because that's Saturn. Saturn's about discipline, it's about hurdles, it's about challenges. Things that are beyond our comprehension, things that we think, why would people do that? Why would someone do something like that? I don't understand, or how these things affect us is beyond our comprehension. We don't quite understand how these things happen, how we could be affected by things happening across the other side of the world. This is what the energy they're kind of showing me now. But it affects our, this is what I got out of this card before when I read on it. People could be getting like flu-like symptoms because of around this eclipse time. The fear-based energy that's going on, so it's like heightened, advanced fear energy that's going on that affects our energy. So we have to be really mindful of this and not to engage in it too. That's why I felt like we had to stay grounded, because I felt like there's going to be a lot of heightened, difficult energy floating around the time of that eclipse. So whether that's actual, and okay, does that mean, what I'm getting now is, does this fear-based energy that's going on trigger earth events, like it makes the earth react? Because I'm reading this card saying things are beyond our comprehension, how this energy works together based on those first two cards that I pulled. How does external influences affect other energy? So, and that can be beyond our comprehension. We don't understand how this all works. Does the earth affect us? Do we affect the earth? So if we've got all this fear-based energy going on around, you know, all these wars and all these things that's going on, does that energy affect the earth energy and trigger volcanoes and earthquakes? Are they connected? This is beyond our comprehension, but this is what they're showing me, that there's things can be manipulated. So our moods and our fear energy gets manipulated. Definitely it gets fed on by this kind of energy. So it's, at the moment, it's quite heightened fear energy going on around the world. A lot of us try to stay off that energy, but it's there and it's going on with everybody. So there's a lot of fear energy going on. Now, does that fear energy affect the earth? Or does the earth affect us? Because they're showing me around the time of the lunar eclipse, we're going to be affected. There's going to be changes. There's going to be manipulated. We'll be manipulated in some way. I feel it's fear-based energy that's used to manipulate us. But will it be manipulating our DNA? That is beyond our comprehension. We don't know enough about DNA to know that. But maybe it can. Maybe it can be programmed. Maybe that's what they're showing, that this is beyond our comprehension, beyond our understanding of what can be manipulated, what can be done, the changes that can be made, challenges that come up, fear-based energy that comes up. Does that change us? Does that change the earth? Does that I don't know. I'm going really, really weird here. But okay, what they're showing me in a less weird way is that there's going to be some changes and some challenges coming up around the lunar eclipse in that is currently in, or will be in, Pisces on the 18th of September. Now they'll be using this energy to manipulate our moods, our energy. We are affected by outside influences, because that's what those two cards said, and they'll be using that to affect us. That may make us sick. It may help whatever's going around to, you know, for us to get sick, because we lower our energy and give into fear-based energy, and then we become sick. So, you know, is that what the goal is, the end game, or is the end game they want to change and manipulate our DNA? This is what the cards want to talk about today. Hope you enjoyed this reading.